Hello and welcome to our next video, and this one will be on Toekomende Tyd or future tense. Okay, so if you haven't seen the past tense video yet or the word order video, I would watch them first. This one will come after that. Cool, so just do a little bit of advertising before we get into the content. There are some excellent books available, Afrikaans Made Simple. This is one of the little ebooks for grades 4 to 7. If you don't have it, please get it. If you have a device or even a nice phone, you can download it from the ITSI store. That is the link there. Just type in Afrikaans Made Simple and this picture will pop up, and it's 29 bucks. If you're looking for a more comprehensive workbook, the first one looks like this, Afrikaans Made Simple, grade 4 and 5, the green book. You can get the ebook version on the ITSI website, or you can just pick up a copy from C&A. If you're from a school and you'd like to order the book, just give me a shout. I'll show you my email now. Obviously a lot cheaper to just get it directly from me than to buy it from C&A. Unfortunately, at C&A the markup is quite high, so it's not the most cost-effective way to get it. But if you just need a copy, that's fine. That's the grade 6 and 7 book. Well, we're getting excellent feedback. Schools are really enjoying it, and it's got everything that you need to be able to be successful in Afrikaans. That's my email there. I get it straight to my phone, or Melissa will answer it. And if you have school orders or just any questions or concerns. Okay, so I would start with this book. 29 Rand, cheat sheets, Afrikaans Made Simple. That's enough of that. Let's get into the future tense. Okay, so you'll remember that when we did past tense, we used the verb het. That was your verb 1. And het is a past tense marker. It's something that tells you that we are now in the past tense. For future tense, we use the first verb will always be sal. Okay, that sal then moves the original first verb, the verb that they give you there, to the end of the sentence. Okay, so you go from one verb to two verbs. Sal will always be verb 1. Okay, so typically you'll have a subject in a sentence. Okay, so you'll start with something like a subject or time. The second thing in the sentence will always be the verb. But you're now going to move that verb to the end of the sentence and replace it with a sal. Sal shows us that this is future tense. Cool. So let's just do those examples quickly. So die dokter gee die inspuiting. The doctor gives the injection. Okay. So just a word of warning, if your vocab is really poor, you're going to struggle with all the grammar. Okay. So in the books there's a list of essential vocab. And if you learn that list and all the verbs and nouns that go with it, you'll be fine. If you just learn the grammar rules, you're still going to struggle, because what if you didn't know that was a verb, gee? Then you're going to be in trouble here. So that sort of thing. If you didn't know eat was eat, sorry, that's not a verb. If you didn't know hardloop was run, then you're going to be in trouble. Okay, so this is your first rule. So how does it change? Well, die dokter, now you put in the word sal, which is will. Okay, die inspuiting gee. So that gee, can you see, is now at the end of the sentence, and you replaced it with sal. There's your answer. Okay, let's do the other two. Ek eet elke oggend ontbyt. I eat breakfast every morning. Okay. Eat is your verb, it needs to go to the end, and it gets replaced with sal. That is how you put it in the future tense. Die hond hardloop oor die pad. The dog is running across the road. Okay? Hardloop you must identify as your verb. Die hond sal oor die pad, and the last thing then in your sentence will be hardloop. Okay, happy. That's the first rule. The same as with past tense. For future tense, this is the main rule. All the other rules, you need to think of them as sort of little changes or little exceptions to the rule. But this is the main, most important rule. Okay, you'll see what I mean when we go to the other rules. Okay, so here's just a few examples. Let's just do them very quickly here. Die ape beklei in die boom. So make it a bit bigger. The monkeys are fighting in the tree. So you need to know that beklei is fight. Otherwise, you are lost. You cannot do this question. If you are clever, you'd have guessed that that is the verb, because it's in the second position in the sentence. Verb is always second. So what do? We move that to the end. Where that word used to be, we put a sal. Okay. Christa lees haar boek onder die boom. Christa reads her book under the tree. There's lees. Okay. That's your first verb. That needs to go to the end of the sentence. Where lees used to be, we put a sal. Done. Xavier klim tot bo in die boom. Xavier climbs till up high in the tree. Okay. Klim. He's climbing. That's your verb. Your first verb. You need to move that to the end. Okay. There it is. And there we put sal. So in a lot of ways this is easier than past tense. Remember in past tense we put a head there. We move that verb to the end and we put a g on it. Okay, so there's no addition to you put nothing onto that last verb in future tense. So in a lot of ways that is a bit easier than past tense. Okay? Die blinde man volg sy dogter in die straat. The blind man follows his daughter in the street. So the blind man, that whole thing is your subject. What comes next? A verb. Okay. What do we do with that verb? We move it to the end of the sentence, and in its place we put a sal. Cool. Pa kap die hout in die agtertuin. Dad is chopping the wood in the backyard. Okay, I hope you're learning some vocab as well, which is critically important. Always learn words and always to write them down. So there's your verb, chopping wood. There we go. Pa sal. Dad will chop wood. That is the first rule done and dusted. Let's go on to the second one quickly. Okay, so just as we had in past tense, in future tense, we also have these verbs that can separate and join up. Okay, it is tricky, alright. So you need to look out for what's going on here at the end of your sentence. So for example, here we had die seun tel sy speelgoed op. Now op, as we saw in past tense, op is a preposition. So if you see a preposition op, aan, met, van, onder, bo, those sort of things, then you must know that they join up at the end of the sentence. Okay, so just like we had with the first rule, there's your first verb. Die seun tel sy speelgoed op. The boy picks his toys up, picks up his toys. That moves to the end of the sentence. You put a sal in there, and then a little alarm should go off. You should, if you think, I wonder if this joins, then the answer is typically yes, it does join. There's another way of telling, but it's almost impossible for a second language speaker to, it's about this, the emphasis of the word, and I think it's too complicated. I think you can recognize when they join and when they don't join. It seems to work for my students. So and with a bit of practice, like you'll get in the books, you'll see. And they always ask one of these because they try to trick you in your tests and exams. Okay, so die dame trek haar rok aan. The lady puts her dress on. Okay, so on, you must like, ooh, okay, alarm bell. That is a preposition. Okay, so if you move trek to the end, you put a sol there, you go, ooh, it looks like they should join, and they join. Okay, happy? I like that. Ben gooi die papiere weg. Now, weg is not a preposition. No, it's not a preposition. But it joins. It's just one of those ones that join. So try to remember that. There we go. Weggooi. In past tense it would have been weggegooi. But now in future tense, so we don't need the ge now. There we are. Okay, so let's just work through a few examples. Obviously there's a lot of exercises on this in the book, and you need to take time with this when you're going to do it in class. This is just like really a short summary of what you need to do. Okay, so die boer pas die beeste op. The farmer is pas op means he looks after the cattle, beeste. He cares for the cattle. Okay, so now you see, ooh, that thing looks like a preposition. So I think this should join. If you're thinking that way, you're right. It should join, and there you can put in your sol. Okay. Ma maak die hoender op die stoof gaar. Mother maak gaar, she cooks the chicken on the stove. Okay. So now you take your first verb, you move it to the end like you normally would do. There you're going to put a sol. You want to say, mother will cook the chicken on the stove. Now you look at gaar maak. Okay. Another way of telling, is the emphasis on the first part of the word. If it is, then it joins gaar maak, not gaar maak. Gaar maak. Okay. Like there, oppas. The emphasis is on the first part. That's the other way of telling, in case you were wondering. But if you have a suspicion, if you can't hear it, if you can't hear where the emphasis goes, if you have a suspicion that it joins, it probably does, and you'll be right 90% of the time. Die man koop nuwe produkte aan. The man buys new products. Koop and aan. Aan is a preposition. Go look in the book, just go and look at your prepositions. Boom, join it up. Put a sol there. New products. Okay, so buying new products. 2.4. Die gaste hou by die hek stil. Die gaste, the guests, hou and stil. They stop at the gate, or they park at the gate. Okay, still and hou, stillo. Emphasis on the first part of the word. Stillo, I wonder if it joins. Yeah, it does. Okay, it normally works. And if you write it as two words, you're going to lose 1 mark. I think you'll still get a mark for sol and for moving your verb. Just check with your teacher, because you've done 2 things correct. You've moved the verb and you've got a sol. So to get 0 for that question, if you just separate the words, would not be a correct assessment, in my opinion, but check with your teacher. Okay. Hy wens my met my verjaarsdag geluk. He congratulates me on my birthday. So wens geluk is congratulate. So if you didn't know that, learn it. You need to know what it means. Geluk gewens, gelukwens, gelukwens. You don't say gelukwens. It joins. And there is sol. He will congratulate me with my birthday. You hope. Okay. Look, so that's rule number 2. Alright, so we had a similar kind of thing in past tense. but in past tense we just had the g in the middle there as a sandwich, and we had the het there. That was past tense. This is future tense. Okay. Okay, then we have another similar rule that gets mirrored in future tense, similar to past tense. We had a similar kind of rule, and that is where there's another verb at the end of a sentence. So you have a sentence like this: Ons hond sien die aap hardloop. Our dog sees the monkey running. So if you need to be sharp enough to spot that, there is another verb at the end of a sentence. And what's our golden rule? Can you remember from past tense? A verb cannot jump over a verb. Another way of saying it is first verb stays first, even if you move it. Okay, so there's your first verb. Now typically the rule says, okay, cool, there's my verb, move it to the end, put a sol there. But that would be wrong. You might get 0 for that actually. You need to be able to see that sien cannot move over hardloop. So unhighlight that. So there's sien there. Why is it there and not there? Well, it's because first verb, it was there, it stays first. That's now the second verb or third verb. Okay? A verb cannot jump over a verb. It can only move as far as it bumps its head. It bumps its head on hardloop. Cannot move over it. Okay, happy? Ons hoor die reën op die dak val. We hear the rain falling on the roof. Now, if you miss that fall is a verb, so that's where your vocab becomes so important. If you didn't know that fall was a verb, you're going to take hoor, I can hear, you're going to move it over fall. That's what you're going to do. But you need to be able to see that it's a verb and it bumps its head onto fall, cannot jump over another verb. Okay? Third example, die kind voel die muur oor sy arm hardloop. The child feels the ant running over his arm. So there's hardloop. Okay, you need to see that there's a verb. It's not going to be highlighted in the test. Okay, so there you move it and it can't move over hardloop and you put a sol there. Happy. Okay, let's just do these examples quickly. Die tuinier begin die gras sny. The gardener starts to mow the lawn. There's begin and there's sny. If you miss that that's a verb, you are going to get this wrong. Begin cannot move over sny. Sol goes there. Ma laat die water uit die bad loop. Mom lets the water run out the bath. Okay, she unplugs it and it runs out. Laat moves to before loop. Why? Because a verb cannot jump over a verb. So we just put a sol in there. Don't forget your sol. Oupa probeer die muisvoël skiet. Grandfather, your grandfather, Oupa, tries to shoot the mouse bird. Is it a mouse bird in English? I think so. Probeer, he tries to shoot it. So you move probeer, but you see, oh, there's skiet. I can't move it over. And then you put a sol there. Cool. Ek hoor die haan elke oggend kraai. I hear the rooster crowing. What is kraai now? Yeah, crowing every morning. Okay, hoor cannot jump over kraai. Ek sal. Okay, happy? Ons sien die leeu oor die veld hardloop. We see the lion running across the field. So there's hardloop. You know that's a verb. You know seen is a verb. You can't move it over. And you're going to put a sol in there. Alright, so just to recap very quickly. we had the basic rule, put a sol, move the verb to the end. Then we had this rule where it joins up. When you move the verb, it joins up to that last word at the end. And here you had two verbs in the sentence. Okay, verb cannot jump over a verb. What's fourth? Okay, this is an easy one. This is all the helping verbs. What do we do with helping verbs? Okay, kan, wil, moet en mag. The sal is also a helping verb, but don't worry about that now, because these ones are going to be replaced by sol and move to the end of the sentence. Okay, so you'll remember that in past tense we changed the form of the helping verb. We said that kan changes to kon, we said wil changed to wou, we said moet changed to moes, we said sal changes to so, and we said that mag actually stays the same. Alright, we also learned the meaning of the helping verbs. Alright, so they help another verb at the end of a sentence. Okay, so what do we do with this thing? Okay, so let's just write. Ek kan die bok sien. I can see the buck. So now we know, we see, oh, kan is a helping verb. Okay, so I need to move it to the end of the sentence. But a helping verb always helps another verb. There, it's helping seen. I can see the animal, the buck. So can we move a verb over a verb? No, we can't. In fact, a helping verb will never move to the end of the sentence because there will always be another verb at the end of a sentence. I hope that makes sense. So if we have a helping verb, it's helping another verb. What is it helping? The verb to. So if we move that helping verb, it'll never go to the end of the sentence because there will always be another verb. What do we put in its place? We put sol in its place. And sol is just a future tense marker. It's also a helping verb. Okay. So there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 helping verbs. Is not a helping verb. It's not. Okay, so that is it. So let's do a few examples. This might sound a bit tricky. So die prefecte mag oor die gras loop. So we say the prefects are allowed to walk over the grass. Okay? So what do? We see mag. We see mag is a helping verb. So it's helping something else. What is it helping? It's helping loop. What do we do with it? Well, it can't move over loop. It goes there. Then we put a sol in there. Happy? Do we change the form to kon or to wou? No. We keep the helping verb as it is. In the past tense, we change the form to kon or wou or moes. Here, we do not. My kat wil die muise in die veld vang. My cat wants to catch the mouse, or the mice, sorry, in the field. So we see, wil. Then we expect to see what? Another verb at the end. When we move it, it can't go over it. It doesn't change form to wou, because this is future tense. And then we put a sol there. Happy. Let's do a few examples. Die jagter wil die kudu skiet. The hunter wants to shoot the kudu. Okay? What do we do with wil? It's a helping verb. It can't go over skiet because skiet is also a verb. And we put a sol in its place. The hunter will want to shoot the kudu. Die dokter moet die kind help. The doctor must help the child. So we have must, we have help, okay. Moet is a helping verb, it's going to move there, can't move over help, What do we put in there? We put a soul in there. Happy days. Do we change it to moes? No. Die onderwyser kan die leerlinge oppas. The teacher can look after the students. Okay, so we see, kan is a helping verb, so it must help something else at the end. Yes, it does. We move it. We can't jump over another verb. Verb can't jump a verb. Do we change it to corn? No, we don't, because this is future tense. And then we put in the song. Happy? Ons mag Sondag roomys eet. We're allowed to eat ice cream on Sundays. We see mag, see, oh, it's a helping verb. What is it helping? It's helping the other verb at the end. What do we do with it? We move it as far as we can until it bumps onto yet. Verb cannot jump a verb. In its place, we put a song. Liam wil Jessica by die dans sien. Liam wants to see Jessica at the dance. Okay, so we see a helping verb. There we go. We see sien. Okay, what do we do with wil? We move it as far as we can. Cannot jump over sien. Do we change it to wou? No, we do not. And we put a soul in its place. Liam will want to see Jessica at the dance. Rule number 5. Easiest rule, I think. When there's an is. Okay, so when there's an is in the first, when is the first verb in the sentence, you replace it with sal and you use wees at the end of the sentence. Okay, in this case, the past tense rule is a bit easier. All we did was we changed is to was. Okay, so here is changes to will and be. Okay, so you can think of it like that. So that's will. Sal means will. Okay, and wees means be. And now it's not working out. Yeah, what's going on here? Undo. Okay, wees is be. Okay. If I just move it back, will that work? Yes. So wees is be. So will be. Okay. Ma en pa is vandag baie moeg. So what do we do? Okay, do we change is to was? No, because this is not past tense, this is future tense. So you go sal, and at the end of the sentence you put a wees. Done. Will be. They will be tired. Okay, happy. Die leerlinge is in die wiskunde klas. The pupils are in the math classroom. They will be. Okay, so the are is gone, the is gone. Sal in die wiskunde klas, and we put a be at the end or a wees. Okay, hulle sal in die wiskunde klas wees. Happy. Daar is min mense by die konsert. There are very few people at the concert. Okay, there's your is. You don't change it to was because this is not past tense. Don't do the first thing that pops into your head. Okay, so sal and then wees at the end. So just be careful which tense you're working with. Alright, happy days. Let's go on. Die mense is baie opgewonde. You see is. So lekker. People are very excited. Opgewonde. They will be very excited. Ek is rasend honger. Easy. Ek sal. I'm ravenously hungry. Ek sal rasend honger wees. I will be ravenously hungry. My ouers is by die see. My parents are at the beach, at the sea. They will be. Sal by die see wees. Daar is baie olifante in die wildtuin. Daar sal baie olifante in die wildtuin wees. There will be a lot of elephant in the game park. Voltuin is a wild garden, in other words, a game park. Die tieners is, die tieners sal, the teenagers will all be in the pool for the holidays or whatever. Wees done. Easy if you recognize the is. Okay, so you have to read your sentences carefully. 6, I think this, yeah, that is the last rule. So let's finish up. Alright, so this is when we deal with het. Okay, now het sounds like past tense. Okay, but this is not the past tense het. This is the het that means have or has. Ek het geld. I have money. Ek het kos. I have food. Okay, what did we do in past tense? Well, remember we put a het. We left the het in there. And we put a gehad at the end of the sentence. Remember, for past tense we had het. And then we had gehad at the end of the sentence. This is now the same thing, but in future tense. So what do we do in future tense? A little bit easier, I think. Okay, my tannie het baie geld. My aunt has a lot of money. Now you want to say, my aunt will have a lot of money. Okay? So the het disappears here. So you're going to put a sal in its place, like you always do for future tense basically. And then you put a he at the end of the sentence. Sorry, my keyboard doesn't have numbers here, so I can't do the copy on the. Remember the copy on the E, please. I suppose I can insert it. And that's going to waste precious time here. Anyway, just remember the copy on the E, please. Okay. Die meeste mense het baie probleme. Most people have a lot of problems. Okay. You see the het. Now you're going, oh, what is this now? Past tense? No, it's not past tense. It's the have or has het. Easy. Replace it with sal. What do we put at the end? Do we put gehad? No, we don't put gehad because this is not past tense. We put he with a copy on the E. Pa het 'n nuwe car. Dad has a new car. Okay, you see the het, you go, what's this now? Is this past tense? No. Pa has a new car. Okay, he will have a new car. Put a sal in there, and you put a he at the end of the sentence. What I can do is just copy there we go. Okay, so James het 2 motorfietsen. James has, have or has, okay, so it has 2 motorbikes. What do we do? No, you will have to, and put a het at the end of the sentence. Ek het baie boeke in my kamer. I have a lot of books in my room. No, I will have a lot of books. And put a he at the end. My oom het 2 plase en 3 huise. My uncle has 2 farms and 3 houses. Okay. You will have. So sal. And what do we put at the end there? There we go. You put a he there. Not a gehad, because this is not past tense. This is future tense. Die straatkinders het min kos. The street children have very little food. What do we do there? We put a sal in there. Okay, happy. And then put a he in there. Okay. Die jong kinders het slegte maniere. The young children have bad manners. Okay, they will have bad manners if their parents don't teach them to have manners. There you go. So die jong kinders sal slegte maniere hê. Right, so 6 rules. That'll get you nicely through primary school at least. Okay, then you'll get 1 or 2 extra ones in high school. And don't worry, there are books for when you get to high school to help you out. So I really hope these rules helped you nicely. To get the exercises and all the notes and the rules for 29 Rand, get the ebook. if you want lots of practice, and the answers are in the back of the book. Alright, there they are. If you are a school ordering, you get an option of whether you want the answers or not. So just let me know, and then I just take out the answers. Page for page, the cheapest books you can buy. It's a lot cheaper than photocopying like worksheets and stuff, and everything. It covers everything. So I hope that helps, and that is then me signing off. If you have, please subscribe and like and share the link to this video on your WhatsApp status. That'll really help me to continue doing this. Awesome. We'll chat soon. Bye bye.